Hello, hi, welcome once again to M5's English language learning program, Let's Speak English. I'm Gav Duncan and I'm here on your TV screen to help you learn English. Now, are you sitting comfortably? Yes? Good. And are you ready for today's lesson? Yes? Good. Okay, well, let's learn English together. Okay, so where did we leave off yesterday? Ah, yes, I remember. Yesterday we learned about how to work out when Easter is, and we concluded that the best way to figure out when Easter is to look in a diary or look at a calendar. When I tried to work it out, I got a headache and a nosebleed. So forget the mathematics and astronomy. If you want to know when Easter is, grab a diary. Okay, so we learned that we don't have to destroy our brain cells in order to learn when we celebrate Easter. Good. There's no point in tearing a large hole in your loaf just to find out when Easter is. Let the eggheads do that for us. We don't need to hurt ourselves working out when Easter is. We just need to know when Easter is. Okay, so on with the lesson. We know that this year, Good Friday was on the 14th of April. We also know that Easter Sunday was the 16th of April and Easter Monday followed Easter Sunday. So logically, Easter Monday was on the 17th of April. Great. Now today, we're going to look at what people do to celebrate Easter. So, if you're all ready, are you all ready? Mori! Carlo, Mori, are you ready? Yes? Good. Then let's begin. Okay, so we all know that Easter is mostly known as a Christian festival. For Christians, Easter is connected to Christ. Easter is the Christian celebration of the resurrection of Christ. The Romans crucified Christ on Good Friday. He died on the cross. After Jesus had died on the cross, his body was put into a cave, into a tomb. But 3 days later, his body wasn't there. Christ had risen from the dead. He was alive again. So Easter is a celebration of the resurrection of Christ. He died and was born again. Okay, now for some other people, Easter isn't connected to Christianity. For some people, Easter is a celebration of spring. So perhaps you celebrate the resurrection of Christ, or perhaps you celebrate the coming of spring. It doesn't matter that much. It's your personal choice. Okay, so we know when we celebrate Easter, and now we also know some of the reasons why we celebrate Easter. So now, let's have a think about what people do to celebrate Easter. Okay, well, when I think about Easter, one of the first things I think about is food. In the UK, people traditionally eat hot cross buns on Good Friday. Now, I bet you're thinking, what's a bun? Well, a bun is a small cake, one which normally has dried fruit in it. A hot cross bun is a small cake. It's got dried fruit in it and it's got a cross on the top of it, like in this picture. So, those are hot cross buns. And if you go to the UK at Easter, you'll see lots of hot cross buns in bakeries and supermarkets. People also make hot cross buns at home. Would you like to try to make your own? Well, I know that Good Friday was last week, but I've got a recipe for hot cross buns. Would you like to hear it? Well, all right, here we go. Now, the first thing we need is some ingredients. Do you all remember what ingredients are? That's right. Ingredients are the things we combine to make or bake something. The things we need to make hot cross buns are the ingredients. Okay, so here are the ingredients for the buns. 300 milliliters of full-fat milk, plus 2 tbs more. Now, here's that funny collection of letters again. We saw it in the Christmas recipe. Do you remember? TBSP means tablespoon, a normal, big spoon, like the spoon we use to eat soup. So, we need 300 milliliters of full-fat milk, real milk, not the watered-down stuff, and then we need a little bit more, 2 tablespoons more. 50 grams of butter, simple. 500 grams of flour, okay. Half a kilo of flour, easy. 1 TSP salt, okay. We need some salt. Once again, we've got the collection of letters. This one isn't tablespoon, this one is teaspoon. A small spoon, the sort of spoon you use to stir your coffee with. Jobber, take the spoon out of your cup. Your mother will not be pleased. 75 grams caster sugar? Okay. Caster sugar. What's caster sugar? Well, caster sugar is very fine sugar. Normal sugar is granulated. Caster sugar is finer. In Hungarian, caster sugar is porcukor. 1 TBSP sunflower oil. Okay, back to the letters. A tablespoon of sunflower oil. 7 gram sachet of yeast. Okay, a sachet, a little bag of yeast. Yeast to make the bread rise. 1 egg beaten. Okay, get an egg, beat it, hit it with a fork or a whisk or something, mix it up so that the egg white and the egg yolk become one. 75 grams sultanas. Okay, sultanas. What are sultanas? Sultanas are small, brown, seedless raisins. Remember the famous, irritating little green pig? Mojula. Okay, what's next? We need the zest of 1 orange. Okay, well, what's that? Well, zest is the outer, coloured part of a citrus fruit. A fruit like an orange, or a lemon, or a lime. Something like that. These fruits have got a skin, or peel, to protect them. And the zest is the coloured part of the peel. So, we need to take a cheese grater and remove the coloured part of the orange peel. Simple. Okay, now what? Well, now we need an apple. 1 apple, peeled, cored, and finely chopped. Okay, well, we've just seen the word peel. The peel of a fruit or vegetable is the skin, and the verb to peel means to remove the skin from a fruit or vegetable. One of my grannies, Granny Smith, my mum's mum, always used to peel apples before she ate them. Okay, so the peel of a fruit or vegetable is the outer covering, the skin of a fruit or vegetable. We normally see the word peel when we use it as a verb. Peel the carrots before you cook them, for example. When we want to peel a vegetable, we use a potato peeler. That is a potato peeler, and we use it to remove the peel from fruit and vegetables. Okay, I just told you that it's a potato peeler, but we can also use it for peeling other things, like apples. So we peel the apples. Okay, we peeled the apple. Now what? Now we have to core the apple. Any ideas? Well, the core is the center of something, and we're talking about fruit. The core is the part at the center that we don't eat. Okay, so that's the core, the center of the apple, the part we don't eat. But the recipe calls for a cored apple. So, what do you think? Well, that's the core, and we're using the word as a noun. Now, what if we change the noun and turn it into a verb, the verb to core? Yesterday, I cored 23 apples, for example. Now, this verb, the verb to core, means, well, what do you think it means? That's right. It means to remove the core from the fruit, to remove the hard-to-eat part. So, we use a corer to remove the core. Okay, so in that picture, we can see the corer, the tool we use to core fruit, 2 cored apples, and one of the apple cores that we removed. Okay, now the last thing we have to do with the apples is we have to finely chop them. Okay, to chop means to cut into small pieces with a knife. When I'm cooking with my wife, I always chop the onions, for example. I cut the onions into small pieces. I chop them. Now, in this recipe, we have to chop the apple finely. So, that means no big pieces. We need lots and lots of small pieces. We don't want this. No, we want this. Okay, almost finished. Now we need 1 TSP ground cinnamon. Okay, a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Okay, well, we often use cinnamon when we're cooking with apples. Cinnamon is a spice which people always use with apples. Cinnamon is fohe in Hungarian. Okay, now we need ground cinnamon. So we need to grind it, just like we do with coffee. We need to crush the cinnamon and turn it into a powder. The same way that we do when we add pepper. We take the peppercorns and crush them. We turn them into a powder that we put onto our food. Here's some cinnamon sticks and the ground cinnamon we get when we grind or crush cinnamon. Okay, almost done. Now for the cross. To make the cross on the top of the buns, we need 75 grams flour. Okay, simple. 75 grams of flour. And for the glaze, we need 3 tablespoons of apricot jam. Okay, well, we know how much we need, and we know that Hungarian apricot jam is fantastic. But what's the glaze? Well, the glaze comes from the verb to glaze, and the verb to glaze means to cover food with something shiny so that it looks attractive. Normally we cover food with something with sugar in it, and then the food looks shiny. The glaze on the food shines and makes us want to eat it. And, oh, whoops, we've run out of time. Ah! Okay. Well, that's okay. This just means that we'll have to rearrange things a little bit. Okay, we've got the list of ingredients for the hot cross buns, haven't we? Yes. So next lesson, we'll start with the instructions on how to bake our hot cross buns. Simple. Okay, well, thanks for watching and get ready. Get ready to learn how to bake our hot cross buns. So, that's a date. I'll see you here tomorrow at the same time, and we'll go through the rest of the recipe, the part where we learn how to bake the hot cross buns. Okay, have fun, sleep well tonight, and I'll see you all tomorrow, fresh and ready to learn about baking buns. See you later. Bye!